Yo, welcome back. Welcome back. Another very special episode of the Man to Man Pod. I'm one half of the pod, yours truly, Darius Butler. Got my co-host, Antoine Bethea.
Yo, yo.
And got a very, very special guest with us today, another member of the secondary, 11-year NFL vet, safety for the Minnesota Vikings, Harrison Smith. Man, what up, Harrison?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man. I see you suited up, about to go hit them links.
Yeah, it's time for the off season. Get a little break from football. Try something else.
What's your game like, man? What's your handicap out there?
It was all right, but I played last week and it was all gone. So my cap is like it was a 4 when I was playing a lot.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I was all right, and but honestly, I was playing like a 15 right now, but I can't change my cap yet. Just got to enter the scores.
So you're gonna leave it at 4?
Well, I just got to enter the scores. They always keep the best, so see what happens. I'll get it back. I just got to grind a little bit.
Man, I gotta get out there, man. I know I'm some shit, for sure. But I definitely got to get out there since I got more time on my hand.
Yeah, man. What year did you get into it?
I played a little bit growing up, so I have a decent swing to start with. But really, once things started shutting down a couple years ago, golf was kind of the only thing open, and I kind of fell in love with it. And then Patrick Peterson joined up with us this year with the Vikings, and like me and him were playing.
Three, 4 times. Out there every other day.
He's out there all the time. Even if we can just squeeze a couple holes in, he'll get out there. So we were playing a lot last offseason, and so I got to try to hang with him,
Yeah.
I feel like you just talking about AB and Fitz, how much they used to golf earlier. Mm-hmm. We had
when I was in AZ, it was crazy. It was definitely on Tuesdays on a day off. They was getting out there. Definitely Monday. They was getting out there, and on Fridays when we got out of the building, and even Saturdays we had a home game. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And then they come in, they got the fits right, so they getting dressed and they shoot straight out of there. So
getting their tea time.
Dope to see.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But let's go back, man. Usually we like to talk about guys' journey, and obviously you're at the top of the game right now, but I want to go back to kind of the beginning, man. Your upbringing, hometown, where you from? I think you said early from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah. I was born in Augusta, Georgia, and I was there for about 5 years with my family. So just remember playing in the neighborhood, but most of my upbringing was in Knoxville, and was here all the way through high school. Big Tennessee fan growing up. That's the pinnacle here. Like, no one really cares about the NFL here. They care about Tennessee football, especially at the time. They had Peyton Manning, T. Martin. It was like late 90s, early 2000s. They were rolling. A lot of good defensive players that I grew up watching. Like Deion Grant was a safety I really loved. Leonard Little, Terry Fair, like
ballers.
They just had guys everywhere, and so I really was kind of molded by a lot of those guys. Raynoch Thompson was my favorite player. He was a linebacker, number 46, and so that kind of like is how I guess I grew up watching the game. And then once it was time to go to college, though, Tennessee was kind of on the downturn, and I was just trying to find the right, I guess, fit for me. And I wanted to go play safety, and I know I could go play safety at Notre Dame. So
what did you play in high school? When did you start playing football?
Man, I started playing football in like 3rd grade.
Okay.
And then played Pee Wee ball, middle school, high school. In high school, I played.
Played running back, huh?
Yeah, I really got recruited off my running back tape.
Man, hey, look, I was just looking up your stats, man.
He was getting busy out there.
I was okay.
Impressive, man. What you had like your senior year? What you had like 1,900 yards?
I don't know if I had that many, but I had what was my best like wow stat was my yards per carry. Because we ran like the wing T, so I would only get
I
like
hate that.
Yeah, like 10 to 12 carries a game kind of. But my yards per carry my senior year was like it was over 9. Like I was busting a lot of long ones. And I played corner. I played corner up until my senior year, and I really just played safety because that's where I was getting recruited at mostly. So my coach moved me there. And I would say that wasn't like my best year of defense in high school because it's different angles and you're seeing the field different. I didn't really know a lot about the game like instinctually from the safety position at the time. I really just wanted the ball in my hands. I just wanted to run with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to college, I actually
Hold on real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but we can't skip over the Gatorade National Player of the Year.
Okay. He been humble about that resume, man. Let me hear about that resume, man.
Wasn't national.
Hold on now. You know what I'm saying? So how was that? How was that feeling? Being like recognized as, the best athlete, in the state. How was that? How was that feeling?
Man, looking back,
you talking shit on here, man. You ain't gotta be humble. You can talk shit on here.
I'm like in my mind, I'm really not that humble, but also at the same time, I didn't really like. I was excited to move on and go to college, and like I knew I was good enough to play at the college level and maybe the pros at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy about it. Don't get me wrong, I was excited. But like I didn't really dwell on it that much, and we never won state either. So that was like something that
was one of your goals.
That I was more mad about that, I think, than any accolades I got at the time. Like I'm obviously proud of them and excited and all that, but like I actually, if you want me to brag on myself, the coolest thing I did in high school was, so I never won state in football, and I think we only lost like 5 games my whole career.
Damn.
They were like 4 of them were in the playoff. And then the basketball team, I played basketball. We were pretty good, but like we just didn't have the guys to win state once you play the teams from like Nashville and Memphis.
Yeah.
So I ran the decathlon my senior year. Won state in that.
Man,
you were the only one running in that race, the captain. Whoa, I know that's.
It was a grind, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it. It was an interesting experience for sure.
what was it like training for that? Like, did you lose a bunch of weight? Like, I couldn't imagine even. Hell no.
Not really. I think I naturally lost a little bit, just like running track. But I was like, probably like y'all too. Like my senior year of high school was probably like the best shape I've been in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Like from like I didn't have grown man strength or anything, but I could run all day long and jump and like nothing.
And then just wake up and do it all over again.
Oh yeah.
No throwing this, no nothing. We going to get it.
Yeah. And then they just beat that out of you in college.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. So you talked about obviously going to Notre Dame. So Tennessee was kind of out because they were on the downturn. So that's where you wanted to go. Your childhood. Then once you got to that point, they were kind of out. But who did you choose Notre Dame over? I know you had some big time offers coming out.
It was really Tennessee. It was those two. Looking back, I would still go to Notre Dame. I had a great experience there. And getting away from home, I think, was good too.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pick somewhere else, Stanford, I really liked Stanford, but like their program was so bad at the time.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Remember, I saw y'all at the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go say what's up. I think y'all were with Will Blackman, right?
Yep.
Yeah. so I visited BC, and I didn't really like watch a lot of BC, and they showed me a highlight tape, and it was like literally strictly Will Blackman highlights. Like
Well,
it was the
Blackman he was a dog at,
he was.
at
Played both sides too. He
Both
played wide
sides.
receiver and DB.
He was catching like wide receiver screens like every other clip to the house. So that I just thought that was funny. Like after I left, I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, I remember watching his tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got recruited by a few schools here and there, but at the end of the day, it was always Tennessee or Notre Dame.
So let's talk about your experience in South Bend, man. Obviously a rich football history up there, man. Like just talk about, you know, as a freshman stepping on campus. You know, you just mentioned like, you know, you knew you could go to the next level and play college ball. Like, how was it for you your freshman year? Was it any like moments it was like, damn, like I'm here now, or was it kind of like a smooth transition for you?
It was smooth. I was probably like a little immature, and I didn't know football like I thought I did.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know where to come down and cover 3. I didn't know how to identify like 2x2, 3x1. Like I'd never watched film, and I couldn't process things very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I could sit in the classroom and like go over things with the coach, but once we got on the field, I was lost for like most of the first year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, you know, nowadays I'm kind of known as a smarter guy who knows the game and all that stuff. And like back then I was the opposite, the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Running around. And
did you start? You were started out of the gate?
No. So I they don't call it redshirting at Notre Dame, but that's what it is. I redshirted, and then my next year I started playing well. I started figuring out how to look at the game and study it, and had a good spring ball. But we had 2 pretty good safeties, David Bruton and Kyle McCarthy, and Sergio.
I came out with Brute. Yeah, and I played with Serge in New England.
Yeah, so we had all those guys. Like Serge was a year above, and then K-Mac was another year, and then Bruton I think was a year above. And so I started playing a little outside linebacker just to get on the field. And I'm glad I did it, but I wasn't very good there either, to be honest. But I was playing. I was on the field.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot. We weren't very good. I was part of that problem for sure on the defensive which honestly though, like nowadays, when I come down in the box, I do think that helps me because I played linebacker at 205, like playing like basically like a 9 technique in an underfront for a whole year.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think
at that edge.
I think you might have just left UConn. We played UConn.
Yeah.
I
think that was our biggest. Nope.
Yes.
That was our biggest win in program history. At least that's how they framed it. And I think we had a running back with dreads at the time.
And I think Jordan Todman maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was a main part of that loss, honestly, because they were running it. They were running like, I don't know what you call it, like 22 personnel, 23 personnel, like all the way down the field and running it.
Yeah, no quarterback.
Right at me at the damn. And I was, you know, the first drive went all right, but I wore down after that. So I still remember those things every time I set the edge and stuff. But then we had a coaching change a couple years later. Brian Kelly came in, and that's when I really started playing really good football at the safety position. We had he went to UConn after. Bob Diaco came in as the D coordinator.
Yep.
He kind of made things simple. And then Chuck Martin was my coach, my defensive backs coach. He's at Miami of Ohio now. and he was awesome. Like he changed my whole mindset, my whole approach to the game. Still stay in touch with him. And
what was one of those big for the young listeners, young players that's listening to this? Like, what was one or two of like the biggest things when it comes to like a Chuck Martin or Bob Diaco that came in? Because I know I had Todd Orlando in college, and he was a DC at USC, but I don't know where he is now. But and understanding formations, understanding leverage, like those were two of the biggest things as a corner and somebody that played in the inside that I had to learn. What was it for you at that collegiate level? Obviously, you get to the NFL, it's a completely different level of ball. But on that collegiate level, what was the biggest things for you that made you go from, a guy who was kind of still trying to figure it out to, okay, now I'm here and you're developing as a big time player?
I would say leverage, like you talked about, then leverage in relationship to like where you probably have a teammate. Especially when it comes to tackling, like you can, if you're in a too high, you can normally count on the safety coming, or if it's cover two, corner, depending on what corner it is. That's one thing I've learned. Like, you got to know you're with too.
Corners
know your personnel.
Real, not all level.
Yeah, leverage and like before anything else though is confidence. And not like just going out and talking shit to talk shit or like acting confident, but like truly being comfortable with being on the field and like being able to, I don't want to say like execute your assignment, but like, like something like that. It's not always
what it is. Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
I can speak like for myself. I think that's when I was like at my most comfortable. Was like when I like the game plan. Like I knew the game plan, but then I was so comfortable with what I knew the opposing offense was going to do. Like that's when I felt like I played my best. And then like playing in Indy and D-Buck by the bus of coverage, I'm like, yo, D-Buck, nah, you supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like. That's when I felt like I was the most comfortable when, but you hit that on the head though.
Yeah, and that's something that I think gets lost in football because like nobody wants to be viewed as like soft or hesitant or unsure of themselves, and like everybody's gonna have doubts at times, like like not necessarily in your ability, but sometimes you just like. You just mess up a lot. Like it happens sometimes, and you can't find a play, and you gotta like calm down.
Yeah,
plays will come to you as long as you do what you're supposed to do within whatever it is. Because there's so many different defenses, so many different offenses. Like there's so many different ways to be successful in football, and one thing I've learned is. Like knowing what your role is and then being able to excel in that role. Not only is good for me, but it makes the guy next to me better. And then that makes me better at the same, like it just grows.
Yeah.
And until you kind of almost calm down, like I tell young safeties, they get the erratic feet on the snap. I'm like, just don't move. Like, let the ball snap and don't move for like a second. Then move decisively. But those things are things that you don't always get taught. You kind of have to learn by trial and error, like y'all know. But
I think a lot of that confidence too, man. You can't get that confidence. Like you said, it ain't just about talking and saying, yeah, I'm the best and I'm gonna make plays, I'm gonna do this. You got to put that work in to be confident. You got to put that work in and knowing your plays and then get to a point of, okay, now I know what the guys around me are doing. And then like AB said, the next level that is, I know what the guys that I'm going against are trying to do to attack, maybe the weaknesses of this coverage or of some players, especially as a safety out here. So you can't just get that. And it's funny you said that because about calming down. I was having a conversation with my younger cousin over the weekend, and he was talking to my aunt, and she was like, Darius, come over here, man. Jordan, he just said it's impossible to go to the NFL. Like, your cousin, he went to that, and he was like, man, I'm like, Jordan, talk to me, man. What's up? He's like, man, I just get out there, and like when it's time to play, I just forget everything. Like, who does the ball snap? I play safety and I just forget everything. And in high school, I don't even remember really knowing play. Like, we got a simple call, and then I was just playing. I was just flying around. I didn't even think that much to even be able to try to forget. But some people are really out there trying to know, and that's a big part. Calm it down, and once again, putting that work in so that you can build some confidence. But I guess that's a big key right there.
But it's funny though, because again, like, just think about. I'm pretty sure Harris and D, but y'all both probably had these situations where you got young DBs that's coming in to like training camp, and it gets to a point and it's like, yo, like we working on our weaknesses. Like we know the defense, we not going through the motion, but we working on different shit. But you got some younger guys that's coming in, they like, damn, like this shit tough. Like, yo, OG, can I come to your room and can we go over these plays? And I remember I had a couple of young boys, they'll come to the room and they'll spit the whole defense out. Like, and I'm like, yo, this guy's motion, what we going to? And they'll shoot it. Like, yo, we going to the second digit. All right, if it go from 3x1 to a 2x2, what we doing? And they'll spit it out. I'm like, yo, like, so this is what you got to do tomorrow. Like, think ahead. Like, if they come out in a 2x2, just think in your head, like, if they motion it empty or if they motion 3x1, what are we going to? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You'll be good. They were like, I bet. Get out there the next day.
Y'all had to walk through the bicycle team. Like,
I'm like, bro, we just sat and talked about this last night. And it'd be real. Just be like, when you get to that real situation, man, like some people just lose it. So, like you said, calming down, that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
That's big, man. I think what helps too is communication, man, on defense, pre-snap, in meetings. Like, you shouldn't be in the meetings just letting the film run. Like, if you on that film, talk, man. Nickel left, nickel right, hey, down right, down, close left, close right. Just so that sometimes it's for yourself to reconfirm some shit, or you letting your other guys know. So all those things, all those details, make sure you're taking those notes and you're applying them. When you hitting that field. But for the people that are listening, to continue on with your career, you talked about all the things in your progression on the collegiate level. What was that process like, kind of where we are right now in the season or the off season, going from the collegiate level to the pros, the training, where did you think you were going? What round, all these different things. What was that process like for you?
So I work out with a guy here named Charles Patron, and I always knew I would do my combine prep with him. So that was easy. Like, I told every agent I talked to, I was like, I don't care what type of high performance training you got or whoever you send your guys to, like, I'm training here. So if that's a problem, it's not going to work out.
Somebody you already trusted.
Yeah. And so I lived in his house, and his wife cooked my meals and all that. And we just got after it every day. And that was really, like, it was awesome. I was in my hometown, but like, I really told myself that I wasn't, like, I was nowhere. I was just at the gym, like, every day, nothing else, gym. I did a little bit of like the classroom type of prep. I didn't do a ton of DB drills, like, did a little bit. And then I ramped it up a little bit. I played in the Senior Bowl, so I did a little bit like the week before, and then a little bit before the combine. So that was it was a good way to start my career. I was like y'all were saying, I think it was UAB, like, the preparation gives you the confidence. And so I already knew that it was already done. Like, I had worked every day. Like, everybody talks about no days off and all this. Like, there was literally not a day off where I was not getting better. I don't. By the way, I don't think that's like a realistic way to live, but like for like a month or two,
yeah,
it was fine.
During that, I talk to young cats all the time when they're going through this process, and I tell them this shit right here, this part right here, you going from, because it's gonna be the longest you at it, because you're going right from college, then you're going from combine prep, draft prep, and then you got mini camps, and you go right into a season, and then it's that long. That's this. You gotta cut all the distractions, all that shit out. So no days off. You about to go golf right now.
Yeah,
this year 11 off season, it's different right now.
Yeah.
After that rookie year, plenty of days off. But like you said, that rookie year just rolls from your college career, and it does not stop until whenever you're done your rookie year. But I was ready for it because of all the work I had put in along the way. So like that really, it went pretty smooth. And the Senior Bowl is really where, like, why I got drafted, where I got drafted. I really wasn't pegged as a first round guy. I was more like second or third. And it was a pretty thin safety class. And then the Minnesota staff coached us at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
And they liked me. So by the time the draft came around, they went up. I think they traded from like 35 to get me at 29. So that worked out as far as like being prepared for the draft prep. And they drafted a couple other guys that were in that game. So those things really do, like, they matter, like the human interaction.
Yeah.
Just how you practice. And it's an all-star game, so it's not exactly real life, but
was there any conversations with your agent as far as sitting that game out?
No.
Or no. It was like that was something you need to play in to jump up.
Yeah, because I knew I could like increase my value by doing that.
Yeah.
If I was a guy that couldn't, I don't know why you would play. And it takes some like self-awareness and like some realistic, like, you can't just always think like, I'm the man, I'm going up.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. You gotta understand, like, Mark Barron was the #1 safety, clear cut at the time, and then there was a couple of us, after him, and we were all kind of all over the place, and so that was there was good players in there. Like I played with George Iloka in that game. I ended up playing with him.
Yeah.
He's an awesome player. So like, I mean, in that Senior Bowl, like Russell Wilson was in that game. I think Bobby Wagner, Kirk Cousins was in it. Man, there was a bunch of guys that are still playing. Who else?
I know I love that Senior Bowl week personally because it was similar to me. I was a second round, late first tweener going into the draft, and I think Malcolm Jenkins was a clear cut corner, but he was potentially going to be a safety. Vontae Davis was the next guy, but he was a junior. So I was like, shit, this is another opportunity for me to go out there and compete. Not ducking no smoke. Because that practice week is the most important thing about obviously the Senior Bowl games, getting those one-on-one reps. Coaching staff, NFL coaching staff installing some simple things, but just seeing how you learn to adjust. So I enjoyed my time down there in Mobile on the field at least, and it definitely paid dividends.
Did they let you press or play? Do what you want?
Yeah, I feel like one day they did, and I know it was other times where they was like, hey, everybody has to play off. And I know in the games we couldn't press. In the game we couldn't press at all, but I think during the week, at least one day, because I feel like I for sure remember pressing some guy. And it was sometimes some things that we did that we weren't supposed to do, but I'm going up against this cat. Like I want this rep. It's got to be live. So I'm not out here about to get set up. So but yeah, I enjoyed that week of competing because I think that's part of it too. Like you said, you got to have that self-awareness. Some guys definitely don't need it. It's just the same way some guys don't need to go to the combine. They could just hold their own pro day. But for me and for most of us, any opportunity you get a chance to compete. And I was coming from UConn too, so that wasn't a football powerhouse by any stretch. So had to go out there and take every opportunity that I could. Shout out to Jim Nagy and those Senior Bowl guys.
Shit, I wasn't fortunate enough to perform in the Senior Bowl. My big showdown was the Magnolia Gridiron Classic. That shit was the worst game ever.
It was how it sounded.
Oh
Magnolia,
man, Magnolia. But but again, you're gonna take advantage of all opportunities presented in front of you. So you gotta take it and run with it. But shoot, man, let's talk about it, man. You said it. You Senior Bowl, Minnesota Vikings, coaching staff. They draft you late first round. And now you're going to mini camps and training camp as a first rounder. So obviously we all know how, you go in and you got this tag on you, a first rounder. So they're banking on you to have an immediate impact. How was your rookie year, man? Like, I know we all have those learning curves, but did you have any wild moments in that rookie season, and how was it for you?
Like the wow moments were really, because that was the year that Adrian went nuts and he almost broke the record. Adrian. So the wow moments were more just like watching him when we were on the sideline. Percy Harvin had a nuts start to that year, like the first half. Yeah. He was so, man, I tell everybody, like, he was the most incredible player I've seen. Like those first 8-9 games, he was going nuts.
Dynamic.
Yeah. Shout out VA, baby.
Yeah, dynamic. We came out the same draft. I think he went 22 to the Vikings. That was one of the teams that told me they would take me. But when Percy was still on the board, I can't be mad at that pick right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was crazy. But what was it like getting into that first training camp and seeing 2-8 on the other side? Because I feel like from the gate, he was looked at. He was one of the all-time best. We knew that would be the case from jump. I know coming into my training camp, had Brady, had Randy Moss, so that was kind of like the first, okay, I'm really here. What was that like?
It was definitely it was kind of a wow thing. And he was super approachable and interactive with, it didn't matter who you were. So that made it kind of an easier transition. I do belong here. There wasn't any I don't know, if there wasn't any cliques or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just hanging around him, it already kind of gave me confidence. But you could feel him, when we would just run and do our 7-on or our no pad practices.
Yeah.
He would look to go get you. Instead of running away from you, he would just run right at me at at the safety position. And all the older guys do not touch 28.
Yeah.
And so you would have to get out of his way, and you could feel him. You could feel how violent he was,
mm-hmm.
as he ran by you. So I think by the time the games came around, even though I wasn't tackling Adrian or anything, just that speed between him and Percy every day. The games were definitely fast. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's still faster than anything I'd seen before, but I wasn't blown away, I guess, and I was able to calm down quicker and see things more as they are, instead of how it is like we were talking about. You start making stuff up and you start seeing things that aren't real. But I think that helped me just by being around that speed.
What year? I know the leap for me was from year 1 to year 2. My rookie season to my second season, I think I had a major leap. What year was that for you, where you felt as though I'm playing good, but now I'm at that level where I'm one of the top safeties in the league? What year was that for you?
Man, honestly, I felt that my rookie year. I don't know if it was true or not, but But I like not at the beginning of it, but like mid-season at the end of the year, I was like, I'm pretty good. Like I can make plays in a lot of different ways out here. And
Yeah.
and then I got hurt early in my second year, and then we had a coaching change. And then when Zimmer's staff came in, like it was a whole different type of defense that I'd never had any interaction with. And so that was probably like 14, 15. So like probably my third, fourth years were when I really started feeling like I was thinking a little deeper into the game of like I knew route concepts and like general things, how they want to attack cover 2 or whatever cover 3 you run, or how they identify man, all that stuff. But I started thinking a little more detailed on like our pressures, and then like, what areas of the field offensive coordinators like to do certain things. And like, actually, it's one thing to watch it on film and a coach says like, they just crossed the 50. Like, what do we expect?
Yeah.
But like to actually make a tackle and then go to the huddle and tell everybody like, all right, this is what we see on film right here as you're getting played. Like it's simple, but like in the moment, it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And now, like, I take some of that for granted now. And I did kind of notice, like, I wasn't being as vocal with that stuff because, like, you kind of sound like a broken record almost.
Yeah.
But it's only a broken record to me because I've been here long. So, like, young guys, they need to hear that. I need to hear it too sometimes, for sure. Like Pat P would give me a little something before a play. Xavier Woods, the other safety next to me this past year, like there was plenty of times this year where, not that I was lost, like I was out there, I knew my assignment and everything, but he would like look over and like give me a little look, and I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
and it helped.
like that.
And I tried that with him. So like when you're around those smart guys, and it's not just like being a smart guy, it's being like a smart guy that can do it when it matters. And I don't even know how you like know if that's the case until you're out there. But like you said, the more guys you have in the secondary like that are talking and they're not like scared to ask questions or scared to speak up, it just makes everybody better. Even when you're wrong, like you're still thinking and you're still talking. So like everybody's stressed out.
Yeah, and one of them things that we used to always say was like, look, man, like just talk loud. So like if you talking loud and you wrong, somebody can correct you. But if you silent and you wrong, then shit, like we all gonna be messed up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So regardless, like just be out there talking, say something. So I know at least you know what I mean. I can tell you like, nah, bro, you wrong.
Fact, and you know the saying too. We all wrong. We all right. If everybody get on that same page, then maybe we get to the sideline. Like we all fucked that checkup, but we was on the same page, so we good money, man. But I know that's when you said, I think you said between 3 and 4. That's kind of when the game, quote unquote, slowed down for you. Is that when you kind of turned up? You're disguising your because that's one of my favorite parts of your game, watching the game, and it's one thing obviously. And it's like you said, knowing the game, being calm and being able to think through things helps you be able to do that, not just, line up like, hey, I just don't want to F up my assignment. But is that when you ramped up the pre-snap disguise, knowing, hey, the quarterback, if I'm giving him this key, he thinks it's quarter, if I'm showing shoulders to the post, like is that when at the same time that ramped up for you?
Yeah, it is. And like for a few different reasons, some of it was, myself just being more comfortable in the NFL. A lot of it was like our third down packages.
Yeah.
I was supposed to align on the line of scrimmage, and so was the nickel. And then, get to the middle of the field. That was how it started. And then you start doing it one way and then maybe spinning back and going to the half, or act like you get out because it's a dummy count and then you come off the edge. And then you find different ways to do it on first and second down, because I still came off the edge frequently enough to make it
Make them have to respect it.
But yeah, and so Zim definitely helped me out with like trying to learn the game of like only show stuff that looks like you can actually do it.
Yep.
And obviously you want the other safety, like if I'm going down, him coming to the middle, or if he's showing down. And I've been fortunate to play with a bunch of safeties that play along with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it. You just can't be out there by yourself, like running, like showing weird stuff because it doesn't make sense. Like the quarterback can just look at the corner of the nickel and be like, that's where he aligns in cover 2, or like, you know. And so,
make it too easy.
Yeah. So some of it is more of a collective deal.
With that, because I mean, another safety that I think about that was great at the skies, and you really couldn't pinpoint where he was at was Troy Polamalu. Was there any time in your career where you kind of studied film on him as far as what he did, how he was able to confuse quarterbacks and things of that nature?
Yeah, he was a guy I watched just like as a fan, for a while, and then once I got into the league, especially early in my career, I watched a lot of him, and we played him before I got hurt in that second season. We played him, and I got to talk to him after the game, and he said like he's such a cool, like easygoing guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know him well, but that's what it seemed like.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he had like he loved he might have told this to everybody, I don't know, but he said like that he learned from watching me, and like that is something that I hold on to for sure. Like I don't discriminate who I steal things from. Like if it's a rookie who's doing something nice, I'll steal it from him. Like like I that just gave me like a ton of respect for everybody's game and how everybody got here, because everyone's different. Everyone has like their things that they might be better than myself or others at, and if you can steal a little bit from everybody, then it's just gonna make yourself better. And like that respect though for what guys do on the field, I definitely hold on to for sure.
Yeah,
that's what's up. I gotta ask you, this just came to my mind. So you're in a weird spot as I guess I would say as a white man in America, because you're in your 30s. Not only are you a minority in your field, but when you get to the DB room, secondary room, I can think back at my 9 years. I had one white safety I think I played with, Zibikowski. I don't know if you know what was
my freshman year.
Notre Dame. Yeah, Notre Dame guy.
Earlier, because Zibby was crazy as hell.
Zibby was. Hey, he's had me taking shots before practice.
I took some shots with Zibby before practice too. And I think I had 3. I think I had Zibby, I had Matt Giordano, and I had Bubba. Bubba Ventura.
Bubba too, yeah. I had Cole Anderson too. But what's that been like for you, man? Obviously, every room, you probably maybe one of 2 AB were able to go to HBCUs. I went to a PWI, predominantly white institution. So in classrooms, I was probably one of the only 2 black guys once I got past certain classes. But what has that experience been like for you? Anything stands out? Any funny shit that you had to deal with that nobody probably know? What's that been like for you?
There's definitely like, kind of like you said, like I think it's funny that like, or not funny, but it's just like it's like an inverse of like society, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like we normally make like I started with Andrew Sendejo for a couple years, so he's a white guy. So we had 2 white guys.
Yeah.
And
that's an anomaly right there.
Right.
And we just like, it was constant jokes of just like how we were just gonna get bombed on, and like like we were both just way too nosy on the ball and all that. But yeah, we had fun with it. Like you said, it's I don't know. I don't really think of it now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess most of the guys I've played with, like all my mentors, I guess, have been black, like for the most part in football. Like a lot of my like DB coaches,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my like the first two guys that really taught me about the league were Jamarcus Sanford and Mistrell Raymond, and they were safeties a couple years ahead of me. And then you had Antoine Winfield, and I mean, we always make jokes.
Legend right there.
Yeah, he did some crazy stuff. But yeah, I never really thought about it that much, I guess. But we definitely make, we keep it fun. We keep like some Chappelle jokes.
Got to. Gotta keep it fun.
But what else we got, man?
I would say this, right? So going to year 11, right? So I'm not sure when you came into the league, you was like, look, I want to play X amount of years, or I don't know if you had a number on it, but I know for me, year 11, after 10, it was like anything after 10 was gravy, right? But obviously you going in 11, been mainly healthy. Like what else do you see for Harrison Smith as a player on the field? Like, you know what I mean? What keeps you motivated?
I think it kind of changed time a little bit. Early on it was can I play at this level? It was, and then it's how good can I get? You want to get paid. I wanted to get paid, obviously. Those things are all I've done a lot of those things. Like, but winning the Super Bowl is like, I don't know if that's the only thing I haven't done, but like, it's definitely the thing that I'm missing.
Yeah.
So that, and like just saying that though is like so many guys say that. That's like, I don't mean to say it lightly. It takes a lot more than a safety to do that. It takes a lot in the organization to get that done. But that's one thing that, like, if I can still play, I'll chase that. At some point, if I'm still chasing it and they're like, yeah, good enough anymore, then like I'll go home.
Yeah.
But I'm still having fun, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, do I love going in and like grinding every day? Like, no, I don't really. But I love game day. I love like, and I always have. And if that ever were to leave, then it'd probably be time to step away. But I just don't see that happening. Like, you can't find it anywhere else. Like, it's so like chaotic, but like sometimes organized, and sometimes like it's just like it's so good.
Yeah. Special.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're not gonna find it anywhere else. I know for sure. So enjoy that shit while you can, man.
Facts. Who knows, man? You might hang it up and then get a call 2 years later, like Weddle did, went out there and got him a bowl.
Yeah, but that was wild. That was awesome.
That was unbelievable to see, and that was a former. We had him on the pod as well. Obviously, great safety, great career, but so smart, man. Coming in the building, week whatever, and in the Super Bowl, you got the green dot on your helmet. Like that. That's crazy. That speaks volumes. But you just brought up the Super Bowl. You guys got a new my former teammate, actually, Kevin O'Connell, new head coach. One of AB's guys as a new GM. What's the direction you guys see? You see the franchise going? Obviously, you got some shit going on in Green Bay. You don't know what's going on with their quarterback, young quarterback, Chicago. Detroit. Detroit. What you see the direction going, Minnesota?
I mean, I don't want to speak for those guys. I've talked to both of them. Talked to the D coordinator at Donatel. So hopefully, look forward to getting to know all them better and knowing what they want out of me and want out of us. Durante Jones is the DB coach. He was actually my DB coach 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that's like kind of the one like guy that I've been around and kind of know how he operates, and he's a great coach. He's a great teacher. So I'm happy to be back around him for sure. But as far as like the direction of the Vikings, I mean, I hope the direction is to win as many games as we can. But you know, I'm not a decision maker in that regard. So I'm gonna see how things unfold here and just have myself ready down here. And once I go back, just try to be a piece that can make the organization successful and those around me successful. That's all. So you can play it right now. Like
that's all you can do.
Yeah. So Ed Donatel, man, I had him my first year in San Fran, man, when he was our DB coach under Vic Fangio, man. You wouldn't like Ed, man. Ed
I feel like I worked out for him coming out of college. He was he a little different.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to word it right.
He wired a little different.
He's wired a little different, but I like it though.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know.
Kind of need that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you definitely need that. But again, I as a position coach is one thing. Now as a DC, like sometimes you have to kind of manage that a little different sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you managing the DB room, but now you managing the whole side of the ball. But Ed Donatel, man, he good peoples, man. I think you gonna have a good time with him.
Yeah, been around a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
We're gonna let you get on that golf course, man, and try to get that swing back, man. But we definitely appreciate you stopping in, man, for the DB room, man.
Yeah, sure.
It's been a pleasure, man. Just watching you from when you first came into the league to now, man. One of the best safeties to ever do it, and even one of the best safeties in the league now, man. So again, man, keep doing your thing, man, and hope nothing but the best for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all having me on. I do, AB, I do remember, I forgot what year it was, maybe 15. We played y'all out in San Fran to start the season.
Yep.
And I had a pretty good hit on Kaepernick near the sideline, and I lost my mouthpiece. And like,
AB probably stepped on that.
No, he pointed it out for me. I remember because like, I was kind of like, you know, like near their sideline, and guys were like kind of mad. I just hit the quarterback and stuff. And I was like, little like trying to figure out what was going on, and he saw me looking for my mouthpiece. So I was just telling my little brother that, like, I was always a fan beforehand, but it's just one of those.
Hey B, being a fucking nice guy.
Hey, look at here, man. One thing I do, man.
Froze up on it. Hold on.
Yeah, he froze up on it. So,
oh, there we go.
There you go. Nah, one thing, I respect the game, man, and you know, like I said, I respect my man game. He need that mouthpiece, man. You know, coming down the hill. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, look, you might want to grab that, brother. But nah, man. Again, man, appreciate you, boss.
Thank you.
Dad, you just made me think. What's your favorite hit in your career so far, man? I know you done had some. You got a moniker, the Hitman. What's the Hitman's favorite hit?
It's hard to get them nowadays.
Facts.
I had one last year or like 2 years ago. It's not my favorite, but one of my high school coaches was texting me about how like some of the guys he had were, you know, they didn't like the hit and they were a little too soft. And for some reason that like resonated with me. And that it was like the next day I got kicked out of the game against the Texans for like a helmet to helmet hit. Not that I'm like proud of trying to like, you know, hurt somebody or anything, but that's how it happened. It was a bang bang play. And I was sitting in the locker room like watching the game because I had to go in. I was like, show your guys that. Like sometimes you got to put that on tape. Like it's not how you want to play every time, but
that's a fact.
You know, you can't let them take all the physicality out of the game. You got to have something.
Still a violent game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Still a violent game playing at full speed. I got my best hit in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta get him when you can. Put that on film.
Who was the player?
Ooh, I called Thielen. I thought
Thielen?
so. It was close to y'all sideline too. It was probably right around he ran a fade on Vontae, and he had routed Vontae Davis my right corner. I was playing the post, and who was the quarterback? Bradford was the quarterback, and it was I knew he was going there. Thielen was the X. It was 3-by-1 away, so I kind of showed away pre-snap. Bradford was one of those textbook quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You show him single high, he gonna go to the X matchup, and Thielen routed Vontae, but he beat him on an inside release, which, for a safety, it makes it get you a couple steps closer. And man, I lined him up. They flagged me, I got a fine for it, but it was as clean as it could be. I caught a little bit of face mask, but yeah, that was my favorite one.
Right?
What's that?
Y'all beat us pretty bad, right?
Yeah, we got y'all. I don't know what it was that day, but everything was clicking for us.
And man,
everything.
I was hurt that game, but I remember watching it and being like, "That's every play. We don't have a chance."
Everything. Offense was clicking. We got off the field first drive. AP wasn't his normal self. He was coming back off an injury, I think. So yeah, obviously I had Diggs and Thielen, but yeah, everything went our way that night. Love that stadium though. Stadium was fire.
Nothing like getting a good hit. Nothing like that.
Nothing like picking that ball off.
Yeah, true. Pick six.
Give me that tater. But appreciate you, Harrison, man. Hit him straight today.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care.
All right, you too, brother.
Peace. There you have it. Another one. DJ Cowboys.
Another one.
Harrison Smith, man. Again, one of the top safeties to play the game, and obviously one of the top safeties in the game right now. Appreciate you for stopping in, tapping in with the Man to Man Pod. Again, man, I'm one half AB. Got my co-host D Butt.
Yes, sir.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. We out.
Out of here.